أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وصحابته المنتجبين. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. A second salawat for the love of Imam Hassan, Imams Al-Hassan wal-Husain. It's the night of Qadr, a night of blessing, a night of mercy and forgiveness. For the love of Amir al-Mu'mineen, a third salawat with your loudest voices. This verse that we began with, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي, this verse came in Surah Al-Baqarah when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the verses about the holy month of Ramadan. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. And then the verses speak about fasting during the month of Ramadan. And then at the end of the page, as soon as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finishes speaking about fasting during Ramadan, He mentions this: وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيب. If my servants, Ya Rasulullah, if my servants ask you about me, then tell them I am close. I am close to them. I am not distant. I am not far away. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. I answer the call of the one who calls on me. The one who says my name, I answer him. فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي. Let them answer me. I will answer them, but first let them answer me and let them believe in me. You see, my dear brothers and sisters, this verse speaks about dua and the power of dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that call me, ask me and I will give you. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. The one who calls on me and asks me, I give him. I give him that what he wants. This verse was revealed after following the verses regarding fasting in the month of Ramadan. Some scholars say that these verses are together, meaning that in the month of Ramadan, one of the activities, one of the programs, one of the best deeds to perform in the month of Ramadan is dua. Is to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to supplicate unto Allah. Ramadan is a time for dua, is a time for prayer. And especially if it was Laylatul Qadr, the night of power in the month of Ramadan, then the time of dua and supplication doubles and multiplies. Tonight, my dear brothers and sisters, if we were to raise our heads to the sky, and if we can open our eyes, not the physical eye, but the basira, we would see thousands of angels, rather millions of angels are descending to the earth now. إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا. Tonight, my dear brothers and sisters, there are angels amongst us, participating at our majlis and other majalis, when we say a dua, the angels say Ameen. They say Amen with us. They supplicate with us, and they say dua with us. Tonight is a night of supplication and dua. Let's seize the moment. Sallu ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. You see, my dear brothers and sisters, dua is not just for Muslims. Dua is not just for the followers of Ahlul Bait. Dua is not even just for Muslims and Christians and Jews. Dua is ingrained in our systems. It's part of human nature. You see an atheist who does not even believe in God, who rejects God and says that God does not exist. Yet let this atheist sit in an airplane. Let there be a little bit of turbulence on that airplane, especially if it's Malaysia Airlines. See if this atheist does not perform dua. See if this atheist does not raise his hands to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the ground, he says God does not exist. But if he sees a little bit of danger, a little bit of turbulence on the flight, he starts reciting dua. Because it's inside of him. No matter how much he wants to deny it with his tongue, but his heart can't deny it. وَجَحَدُوا بِهَا وَاسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسُهُمْ. They say we don't believe, but deep down inside in their hearts, they are all believers. A man came to Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. He said, Ya Rasulullah, Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ali. He told him, I do not believe in the existence of God. Prove to me the existence of God. He told him, okay. Have you ever been on a ship? He said, yes. In the middle of the ocean? Yes. Were there any big waves? Yes. Were you about to sink? Yes. He said, what did you do? He said, I prayed. I called for help. He said, but there's no one in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. Who did you call for help? He said, I don't know. I called for help. He said, you know who you called? You called Allah. You called Allah. Thus, even an atheist who denies God's existence, but let him be in danger. Let the doctor tell him that you are diagnosed with cancer and you will die within a week. Look at the du'as that he will recite. Look at how religious he will become. In fact, du'a, the need for du'a, is proof of Allah's existence. It's proof of Allah's existence. Because when you're in danger, when your life is in danger, when you're diagnosed with cancer, when you're about to die, when you turn to a higher authority, a higher being, more powerful than you and more powerful than anyone else, that is proof that Allah exists. That is proof that Allah exists. Before I came to New Zealand, there was a show that I saw on TV. One day I was flipping through the channels and I saw a show called Hubut al-Darari, Emergency Landing. Now this show, it's a prank. They bring singers, actors, actresses, entertainers from the Arabic world. They put them on a plane and they create turbulence. The pilot, he starts going up and down. Of course, it's very dangerous, but it's very humorous as well, because this actor all of a sudden starts shouting and crying, and until they have an emergency landing. They bring an actor or an actress or a singer that is absolutely not religious. This actor or singer is known to be the farthest away from Allah. There's no hijab, no salah, no fasting, no observing of religion whatsoever. As soon as the pilot starts going down and then up again and he starts swerving, all of a sudden they start reciting dua. They start worshipping. They start praying to Allah. They start saying the shahadatain. And you see this actor, all of a sudden he starts reciting the most beautiful and eloquent du'as. Why? Because his life is in danger. When he's on land, when he's safe and sound, there's no mentioning of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no dua or remembrance of Allah. But as soon as his life is in danger, they come back to dua. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. You see, my dear friends, when we ask a fellow human being for anything, you ask someone to hire you, to offer you a job, to find you a wife, to give you a loan, to borrow a car, whatever it is that you ask other human beings, it is always humiliating. When asking another human being, it always has some sort of humiliation. If you get rejected, well, obviously that's humiliating. When someone tells you, no, I won't give you a loan, that's humiliating. Being rejected by a fellow human being, you feel low, you feel disgraced, you feel unhonorable. And if that person gives you what you want, it also has humiliation. Because now that person has done you a favor. Now you have to respect that person. Now you have to return the favor. The hadith by Amir al-Mu'mineen says, احتج إلى من شئت تكن أسيرا. Be in need of any person, you'll be his servant, you'll be his slave, because you needed him. You needed him to do you a service, a favor. But when you come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when you say dua, there's absolutely no disgrace in it. In fact, all of the honor and dignity is when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because when you ask Allah, you feel independent. You feel that you don't need anyone else, not a single human being. All you need is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're not in need of this person, of that official, of this politician, of this president, of that city council member. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made you self-sufficient. All the honor is in this. You ask anyone other than Allah, it's disgraceful, it's unhonorable. Ask Allah, it's honorable. You know, when you ask a human being for anything, usually human beings don't do anything for free. When you ask someone for a favor, usually they will ask a favor in return, except Allah. Allah does not ask for anything in return. Ask Allah for whatever you'd like. Allah will never say, I want something in return. يا من يعطي من سأله يا من يعطي من لم يسأله ومن لم يعرف تحننا منه ورحمة. Oh, the one who gives those who ask Him. Oh, the one who gives those who do not even ask Him, from His mercy and from His compassion. When you ask Allah, there's no embarrassment in this. When you go and ask someone for a loan, you're always embarrassed, you're shy, you don't know how to start, you'd like a loan. But with Allah, there's absolutely no embarrassment. Ask for whatever you'd like. When you ask a person, there's always fear of rejection. You're nervous, you're scared. Is he going to give me? Is he not going to give me? There's always fear of rejection. With Allah, there's no fear of rejection. With Allah, there's no need for an appointment. Go and talk to Him whenever you'd like. In the morning, in the afternoon, at night, in the middle of the night. You don't need an appointment. Allah's doors are always open. وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. Allah says, call me whenever you'd like. 24-hour hotline. And you don't need as we call it in Iraq, a wasta. You don't need an intermediary, someone to take you to Allah. No, call Him directly, one-on-one, and He's there for you. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. There are some who remember Allah only during emergencies. Only when they're in need. Only during emergencies, they remember to say dua, to raise their hands and say dua. When they land at an airport, when they're about to face the custom officer, and they're a bit scared, it's an emergency, they raise their hands in dua. When they're driving, they see police cars behind them, then they remember to say a dua. But when they're safe and sound and healthy, they're not in danger, a police officer is not chasing them, there's nothing wrong with them, they forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They neglect Allah. They only remember Allah when they need Him. When they don't need Him, of course, when they think they don't need Him. When is it that we never need Allah? We always need Allah. When they think that they don't need Him, they forget Him. While others, they remember Allah at good times, at bad times, and at good times. When they're healthy, they remember Allah. When they're wealthy, not just when they're poor, they remember Allah. When they're sitting at home, surrounded by their children and grandchildren, they're having a good time, a joyous time, they remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not just at bad times. Yes, they remember Allah. They say dua. Why? Because this is a blessing. When you're healthy, when you're wealthy, when you're surrounded by family members, your wife, your children, when your grandchildren, this is a blessing. They thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this blessing. They ask Allah to keep this blessing. Who gave us this blessing? Allah. Who could take it away from us? Allah. Shouldn't we ask Him to continue this blessing upon us? Thus, we shouldn't just remember Allah during emergencies, only when we need Him. No, remember Him at good times. You know, it's like having a friend that only calls you when he needs you, when he needs a loan, when he needs you to pick up his kids from school, when he needs your help at home, or your friends, your female friends, she needs a recipe from you, she calls you. But at good times, they don't remember you. When your friend has a wedding, you know, a lot of times I have some friends, they only invite me to their funerals. They don't invite me to their weddings. At their weddings, I never receive a card. But in their funerals, they make sure to call me and tell me that we have a funeral. Why? Why do you just remember me at your bad times? Remember me at your good times as well. It's the same with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We only remember Him at bad times. Let's remember Him at good times as well. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. There are some that say dua and practice dua for the reward. For the reward, yes. Dua is rewarding. The more you say dua, the more you'll be rewarded. There are some that don't miss. Dua al-tawassul on Tuesday nights. Dua al-kumail on Thursday nights. Dua al-nudba on Friday mornings. Dua al-samat on Friday evenings. Why? Because they want rewards. During Rajab, they say the du'as of Rajab. During Sha'ban, they say the du'as of Sha'ban. During the nights of Ramadan, they say the du'as of Ramadan. Du'a al-iftitah, Doa Jausyan, Doa Jausyan al-Kabir, Doa Abu Hamzah. That's great. That is great. But these people, their only idea of dua is reward. I say dua, Allah gives me reward. It's because of the reward. You know what Amir al-Mu'mineen says regarding these people? You know what they are? They're merchants. They're businessmen. They give Allah and they take. It's a give and take relationship with Allah. It's a give and take relationship. If Allah were not to give them, they would not give as well. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, إِنَّ قَوْمًا عَبَدُوا اللَّهَ طَمَعًا فِي جَنَّتِهِ فَتِلْكَ عِبَادَةُ التُّجَّارِ. There are some people that worship Allah because of paradise, because of rewards. These people are merchants. They're businessmen. There are others who recite dua because they feel a need inside them. Inside them there's a need for dua. Dua makes them grow. Dua makes them a better person. The dua connects them better to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It improves their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dua captures their minds and their hearts. This is why they recite dua. Now if they were to be rewarded That's better. That's the icing on the cake. But that's not why they recite dua. Not because of reward. Even if there's no reward, they still enjoy dua. Because dua is beautiful. Dua helps them. Dua is the comfort and ease to their souls and their nafs. Thus, my dear brothers and sisters, the dua that's efficient is not how much you can recite by your tongue. There are some, as long as they recite by their tongue. Tonight, for example, on Laylatul Qadr, how much dua we can recite? Let's recite Doa al-Iftitah, Doa Kumail, Doa Jausyan, Doa Muhamamd. It's not about quantity, my dear friends. It's not about quantity. A lot of us, we recite dua, but our minds are somewhere else. Our minds is, what has my wife cooked me for suhoor tonight when I go back home? I'm reading by my tongue, but my heart is not reading. What's important is that my heart reads. My heart and my mind also reads. It's not important to recite dua for 2 hours or 3 hours straight and continuously. No. Sometimes if you recite dua genuinely, sincerely for 20 minutes, 20 minutes, it could be more fruitful and beneficial than reciting for dua for 2 hours. Because in those 20 minutes you concentrated. You knew what you were saying. It was coming not just from your tongue, it was coming from your heart. So it's not about the quantity of dua, my dear brothers and sisters. It's also about the quality. You know, it's like working out. When you go to the gym, there's some people that go to the gym, they want to do everything. Every single exercise there is, they want to do it. That's not how it works. It's not about the quantity of your exercise. It's about the quality. How do you exercise? Not how much. Not how much. Perhaps a 10-minute exercise is more fruitful and beneficial than an hour of exercise. It's the same with dua. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Dua, my dear friends, is meant to be pleasurable. It's meant to be enjoyable when you connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you speak to Him one-on-one. You know, I would hear former scholars, they would say, if you want Allah to speak to you, recite Quran. If you want to speak to Allah, recite dua. Recite dua. Dua is your way of communicating with Allah, and Allah is hearing you. Allah is open, Allah is listening to you. When you recite dua, it's a one-on-one conversation with Allah. It's very beautiful. You connect directly with Allah. Especially if it's mixed with tears. It makes it more enjoyable. Especially if you're by yourself. No one could hear you. Say what you want. Say what's inside your heart. Speak to Him in your own language. Dua has no set language. Any language that you choose. Dua does not have specific words. Say the words that you choose and the way that you want, and Allah will hear you. In Arafah, in Mecca, Imam Husain alayhi salam, Doa Arafah says, فَإِلَيْكَ عَجَّةِ الْأَصْوَاتِ بِصُنُوفِ اللُّغَاتِ. My Lord, all of those voices are calling you with various languages. Allah does not have a certain language. Call Allah in any language that you want, in any words that you want, and He will hear you. Which du'as should we recite, my dear brothers and sisters? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. By the way, as-salat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad is a form of du'a. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Which du'as are the best du'as? There are some people that come and ask me, Sayyid, which du'a should I recite all the time? Is it Doa Kumail, or Doa al-Iftitah, or Doa Abu Hamzah, especially on Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr is only 12 hours. And by the way, you're lucky, because in some countries it's only 4 hours. So imagine all of the a'mal they try to fit within 4 hours. Alhamdulillah, we have 12 hours, 13 hours to do a'mal. But even the 13 hours, it's still not enough. Which du'as should we recite? There are some that ask me, should we recite Doa Abu Hamzah, or Doa Jausyan, or Doa Arafah al-Masahif, or all of them? Which du'a? Not just in Ramadan, not just on Laylatul Qadr, in general, throughout the year, which du'a should we recite? There was a scholar in Lebanon by the name of Shaykh Muhamamd Faqih, very well-known scholar, a faqih, a jurist. His name is Faqih, and he was himself a faqih, a scholar, a jurist. He was asked this question once, that which du'as should we recite? You know what he said? He said du'as are like an open buffet. Like an open buffet. Have you ever stayed at a hotel in which you had an open buffet? Or you've been to restaurants in which it's an open buffet. Which food do you eat? Well, there's some people that eat all of the food. They go and they want to have every kind of food in that open buffet. While others, they choose the food that they like. It's an open buffet, but they choose the food that's good for them. If they like spicy food, they'll go and choose the spicy food. If they like seafood, they'll go and eat the spicy food. If they are vegetarian, they'll go and choose the food that's vegetarian. If they are diabetic, they will choose the food that is good for them, and so on and so forth. As Shaykh Muhamamd Faqih says that du'as are like an open buffet. You choose. You choose the du'a that fits you the most. Which du'a do you connect with the most? Doa Abu Hamzah? Read Doa Abu Hamzah. Do you connect with Doa Jausyan the most? Read Doa Jausyan. You don't have to force yourself to read everything. Read the du'a that you like the most, that touches you the most, that changes you the most. I'm sure all of us, we have a relationship with one du'a. There are some people that have a relationship with Doa Arafah of Imam Husain alayhi salam. Beautiful du'a. One of the gems that came out of Ahlul Bait, Doa Arafah. Unfortunately, we read it only once a year. Only once a year. Others have a relationship with the other du'a. You choose the du'a that you are most comfortable with. Not the easiest. Not the one that is most, easiest to read. No. The du'a that you feel more comfortable with emotionally. Read it. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. When we look at the life of our imams, my dear friends, we see that the imams, they prayed, they fasted, they went to Hajj, they went to Umrah, they recited Quran, but that was not enough for them. That was not enough. There was still an empty spot. There was still an empty spot. When we look at the lives of our imams, we see the culture of du'a. I call it the culture of du'a. What does that mean? It means that you don't just gather once a year called Laylatul Qadr and you recite Doa Jausyan and then you go home and you disappear for an entire year. No one sees you till the following Laylatul Qadr. No. Where you recite Dua once a year. No. The culture of Dua is that you recite Dua all the time. Every day. You make it a routine. You make it part of your everyday life. There are some people that exercise every day. They have to go to the gym every day. Good for you. But make it part of your everyday schedule to recite a dua. I'm not saying recite Dua Kumail every day. No. Dua could be a 1 minute, a 2 minute, or a 3 minute connection between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you go to bed, when you put your head on a pillow, your legs could be extended. You don't even have to be on wudu. You don't have to be facing the qibla. أَيْنَمَا تُوَلُّوا فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ. You could be anywhere, at any point. Speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be in the habit. Are you nervous? Turn to Allah. Are you anxious? Turn to Allah. Are you depressed? Turn to Allah first. You don't need to speak to a friend. You can speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Are you angry? Speak to Allah. Are you hungry? Speak to Allah. Are you happy? Speak to Allah as well. Let's be in the habit. Let's have the culture of dua. Let's bring dua in our lives. It could be a 2 minute dua. It could be a 3 minute dua. It could be at any point. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. One of the best a'mals of tonight, Laylatul Qadr, is as-salat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.